Just 4 days after the fall of Singapore, the Japanese bombed the northern city of Darwin. On board HMAS Karangi, able seaman Harry Dale writes to his mother.
The Japs' bullets are raking along the ship's side. We're firing at anything our guns can reach. Wherever you look, there are burning or sinking ships. Looks like a direct hit on the Peary. She's sinking, stern first. Nearly under now. The town looks to have some big fires. No one on our ship has been hit. We certainly have been lucky. Hope they don't come back.
Just 1 hour later, the Japanese attack again. By the end of the day, over 240 Australians have been killed and 350 wounded. Australia and New Zealand feel let down by Britain. They turn to the United States for protection. GIs are drafted to defend Australia's northern territories. Prime Minister John Curtin.
Without any inhibitions, I make it quite clear that Australia looks to America, free of our traditional links or kinship with the United Kingdom.
By 1945, British and Indian troops have retaken Burma. In June, Australia joins forces with America to expel the Japanese from British Borneo. Vin McNamara of the 1st Australian Corps describes the fight for one of Britain's most distant colonies.
As the assault waves swung into line, the support craft moved in, firing to cover the actual landing. The troops clung to their rifles and their tin hats. Some were slightly seasick. Soon we were ashore in force, slap bang into the enemy. The campaign which developed was a heartbreaking jungle operation.
As the troops advance inland, they liberate hundreds of prisoners of war. Among them, Indian soldiers, the men of the 15th Punjab Regiment, who had tried single-handedly to defend the island when the Japanese attacked.
Most of the Indian POWs are in a pitiful condition. They are half-starving, and many are very ill. However, the fortitude of these Indians is amazing. Even now, their standard of discipline is high.
Of the 1,000 Punjabi soldiers taken prisoner, only 150 survived the Japanese camps. It takes 3 months to secure Borneo. On liberation, Chief Abdul Hamid delivers a note of thanks.
We, the inhabitants, tender our gratitude towards the Australian forces who have delivered us from the cruel and unjust Japanese. Our true benefactors, the British government, have come back to us, and we pray for everlasting prosperity under the British flag.
August 1945. 2 atomic bombs force a Japanese surrender. The war is over. 150,000 colonial troops have died in defense of the empire. While victory is celebrated across the globe, British people contemplate the future of their empire, changed forever by war. A
still feel it's the greatest empire the world has known. We should all feel grateful for the way it rallied round, without any compulsion to do so. It seems that British empire building has had some good results.
I don't like empire and what it signifies. The coloured peoples have been exploited by us as a means of profit, and by doing so, unemployment and poor living has been created at home. I don't mind British Commonwealth, but definitely not empire.
We are witnessing now the nemesis of our own imperialism. It always seemed to me that the empire should be an object of shame rather than pride. Maybe we shall give in to India now, but it will be too late to do so with honor.
Following victory in Europe, Britain's new Prime Minister, Clement Attlee, had arrived in Potsdam to meet with the leaders of the new superpowers, US President Harry Truman and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin. A new world order is emerging. Attlee's Labour government is committed to honouring a pledge to India. In 1942, in exchange for support in the war, Britain had promised India her independence. India's Viceroy, Lord Archibald Wavell.
So there has been a landslide in favour of Labour. I'm afraid there will be a lot of inexperienced and rather wild legislators among them. However, there were very many stupid and tiresome Tories. I think Labour is likely to be more sympathetic towards India, but I shall find it difficult to persuade them that they must go slow.
At the Viceroy's lodge in Simla, Wavell hosts a conference between India's political rivals, Mahatma Gandhi of the Hindu-dominated Congress and Muhammad Ali Jinnah, leader of the increasingly powerful Muslim League. But after 20 days of intense discussions, Gandhi and Jinnah are no closer to agreeing on the future of India.
Dear Mr. Gandhi, to achieve the freedom and independence of the peoples of India, it is essential to accept the division of India as Pakistan and Hindustan.
Dear Mr. Jinnah, last evening's talk has left a bad taste in the mouth. Our talks seem to run in parallel lines and never touch one another.
Wavell has failed to bring Hindu and Muslim together. Communal rioting is intensifying. The British sense they are losing control. Attlee needs to find a new viceroy to lead India to independence.
I thought very hard and looked all around, and suddenly I had what I now think was an inspiration. I thought of Mountbatten.
In March 1947, Earl Louis Mountbatten and his wife Edwina arrive in New Delhi. The great-grandson of Queen Victoria and second cousin to George VI, Mountbatten brings a regal presence to the drama of India's independence. As the last viceroy, he bears responsibility for India's fate.
2nd of April, 1947. I have now completed my first week in office. I should like to be able to paint an encouraging picture of my first impressions, but feel it would be misleading if I did so. The scene here is one of unrelieved gloom. At this early stage, I can see little common ground on which to build any agreed solution for the future of India. The only conclusion I have been able to come to is that unless I act quickly, I may well find the real beginnings of a civil war on my hands.
By May, attempts to create a unified